You don't realize the lease was fraudulent until you're standing outside your apartment door with a locksmith you didn't call and a landlord you trusted for 9 months, telling you the contract you signed was never registered, never legal, never yours. In Greece, you can build a life inside 4 walls and discover on a Tuesday morning that the walls were never yours to begin with. You move to Chania because somewhere between your 3rd glass of wine and your 4th YouTube video of a Venetian harbor at golden hour, you make a decision that feels like clarity but is actually just the most beautiful escape route you've ever been offered. Back home in the States, you have a lease renewal coming up, a job that pays enough to not complain about but not enough to feel anything, and a life that fits like a shirt 2 sizes too sensible. So you do what people do now. You find a remote job that pays in dollars. You research Mediterranean cities with good Wi-Fi and cheap olive oil. You land on Chania, Crete. Population around 55,000, old Venetian harbor. Cobblestone streets walked on since the Ottoman Empire. Average rent for a 1-bedroom in the old town, €650 a month. You book a one-way ticket. You tell people it's a lifestyle change. It's a dare. You land at Chania International on a Thursday in April. The air is warm and smells like something you don't have a word for: sea salt, wild herbs, and old stone that has been absorbing sunlight for 600 years. A cat watches you from a doorway like it's been expecting you and is mildly disappointed by your suitcases. You think this is the opposite of sensible. The first thing Chania teaches you is that beautiful is not the same as easy. Greek rental contracts are always written in Greek. Not because your landlord doesn't speak English, he speaks excellent English, but because Greek law requires leases to be registered in the national tax system, Taxisnet, which only accepts documents in Greek. So you sign a contract in a language you cannot read. The landlord translates it for you verbally. You take notes on your phone. You feel like a functioning adult navigating a foreign system. You are not. You are signing a document you cannot verify in a country where the only legally binding version is the one you don't understand. But you don't know that yet. What you know is this: €650 a month, 2 months deposit, €1,300, an apartment with arched stone ceilings in a building from the 1700s, 3 minutes from the Venetian harbor. You hand over €1,950 in cash, because the landlord says cash is easier. Cash is always what they say when they want something to be harder to trace. But you don't know that yet either. The apartment is on the 2nd floor of a building on a street so narrow that the neighbors across could hand you coffee through your window without leaning. You open the window on the first night. You hear a cat, a moped, someone arguing beautifully in Greek. You think, I made the right call. By month 2, you have a routine. Morning coffee at a cafe 3 streets over. One of those places where old men play backgammon at 9 a.m. with the intensity of people whose stakes are invisible to outsiders. The owner, Stavros, learns your order by end of week 1. Ellenikos, Metrios, Greek coffee, medium sweet. He makes it without asking. He doesn't know your name, just your cup. In Chania, that counts as a relationship. You find your rhythm, work from the stone-walled apartment until noon. Lunch at the Agora, the covered market built in 1913 in the shape of a cross, where you can buy olives, honey, fresh fish, and an unsolicited lecture on Cretan agriculture if you make the mistake of looking interested. Afternoons, walk. The old town rewards walking. Venetian lighthouse, Ottoman mosque, Byzantine walls, all existing simultaneously, like the city couldn't decide which century it belonged to and eventually stopped trying. Your neighbor brings you into the rest of it. Her name is Alina. She lives on the floor above. 50s, recently retired, hair the color of the stone walls. She grew up in this building. Her grandmother lived in your apartment before it was renovated. She brings food the way Chania people do, not as a gesture but as a statement. Spanakopita, Laucomades, Tirapita because you looked thin last Tuesday. She takes you to the Lakey, the weekly street market, and teaches you which vendors are honest and which ones see you coming from a kilometer away. She takes you to her sister's house in the village of Vamos for Easter, lamb on a spit, a table full of people talking at a volume that sounds like arguing but is actually just dinner. She teaches you the Greek word for the light on the harbor at dusk. You write it down, you forget it by morning, the feeling stays. You buy a plant, you hang a piece of driftwood on the wall, you stop calculating how long you've been here. You think this is what staying feels like. The locksmith arrives on a Tuesday morning in January. You hear him in the hallway before you open the door, the specific sound of someone working a lock they have every right to work. You open your door. A man you've never seen, tools in hand, changing your lock. Behind him, your landlord Nikos, the man who showed you this apartment 9 months ago, who translated the contract with the warm confidence of someone doing you a favor, who took 1,950 euros in cash and gave you a key. Nikos explains in his excellent English that he needs to reclaim the property. You say, I have a lease. He says, the lease was not registered. You say, you were supposed to register it. He says, there was a misunderstanding. There was no misunderstanding. You look it up on your phone that afternoon, hands not quite steady. Greek rental law requires all leases registered in Taxisnet within 30 days of signing. Unregistered lease, no legal standing. No legal standing, no tenant protection. No protection, the landlord can reclaim the property with as much notice as a Tuesday morning locksmith. You were never a tenant under Greek law. You were a paying guest. For 9 months, 650 euros a month plus 2 months deposit, 7,150 euros. Nikos kept all of it. He kept it because the contract you signed was in a language you couldn't read and never registered and legally worth exactly as much as the verbal translation he gave you the day you handed him cash. You think about Alina. Alina who grew up in this building, Alina whose grandmother lived in your apartment, Alina who knew Nikos for decades before you arrived. Who taught you which market vendors were dishonest. Who never once mentioned that your lease should be registered, that cash payments without receipts are the oldest warning in the city, that you should verify, that you should check. You go back to the building, you knock on her door. She opens it, same warmth, same steady eyes, the face that fed you spanakopita. You ask her directly. She is quiet for a moment. Then she says, Nikos is my cousin. She says it the way you'd explain the weather. As if your 7,150 euros and your 9 months are simply part of a system that existed before you arrived and will continue after you leave. You weren't her neighbor. You were the advance notice that the apartment would be available again in January. 3 lawyers, same answer. Without a registered lease, no case. No case because no contract because it was never filed. Never filed because Nikos has been doing this long enough to know exactly where the law stops looking. You pack your suitcase, heavier now not just in weight. You leave the plant, you leave the driftwood on the wall. You go to Stavros's Cafaneo one last time, he sees you at the door, he starts making your coffee before you sit down. Ellenikos Metrios. You watch the harbor through the window, the Venetian lighthouse, the old fishing boats, the morning light doing exactly what it always does, indifferent and perfect. He puts the cup in front of you, doesn't ask what happened, doesn't say anything. Just makes the coffee. Because that's the only thing he knows about you, not your name, not your story, your cup. In this city, you learned, that's the only version of being known that doesn't cost you something. Your mother says when you land, at least you got to live in Greece for a while. She means it with love, it lands like a verdict. Because it wasn't a while, it was a life, a Cafaneo, a market, an Easter table in Vamos, the word for the light on the harbor at dusk that you wrote down and forgot but can still feel. Somewhere in the old town, a woman with stone-colored hair watches a new foreigner walk through the narrow streets with 2 suitcases and a dream. She brings spanakopita, she points out the dishonest market vendors, she teaches the word for harbor light at dusk. And Nikos shows the apartment. And the harbor keeps shining. 55,000 people in a city that survived Romans, Byzantines, Venetians, Ottomans. One more foreigner who came looking for a life and found a lease that was never registered. Chania didn't need your story. It just needed your deposit. If this hit somewhere real, drop a comment. The moment, your moment, the first time a place showed you what it actually was underneath the beauty. Because that's where the real stories live, not in the harbor photos, not in the golden hour reels. In the Tuesday morning the locksmith shows up. And if you're somewhere right now building something small and real and yours, subscribe. Every week, a new city, a new story about what it costs to build a life somewhere that wasn't built for you. No highlight reels, just the honest version. Because somewhere out there, someone just landed in Chania with 2 suitcases and a dream. They deserve to know what comes next. Foreign ground for everyone who is somewhere they didn't quite expect to be.